Starting in a child's pose, sitting back on your heels, really grounding your forehead, your third eye with the earth, focusing on your breath. Slowly making your way to all fours. Cat and cow. On the inhale, arch your back, and on the exhale, bring your stomach towards the floor. Do this at your own pace for a few breaths, really exaggerating the stretch. Inhale, exhale. Coming back to neutral spine, extending the right arm and left leg, stretching from the fingertips all the way through your heel. Doing the same on the opposite side. Remembering to breathe. Getting fluid with your movement, making circles with your hips, moving however you feel free, comfortable in your body. Curling the toes under and slowly pushing up into downward dog. Bending the knees, not going for the full straight legs yet. You want to warm up your hamstrings. Taking your time, breathing into the movement. Breathing into the stretch. If you can get your heels all the way to the floor, you can do so. If not, it's fine to keep the knees slightly bent. You do not want to hurt or injure yourself. Taking a child's pose. At any time during this practice, feel free to take a child's pose to ground yourself and reconnect with your breath. Pushing back up into downward facing dog. Slowly tiptoeing to our hands. Inhale, look up. Exhale, folding forward. Letting the head hang heavy, releasing any tension in your neck. Inhaling, coming up. Arms above your head. Exhaling into mountain pose, making sure that your shoulders, hips, and heels are in one line. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling, folding forward. Inhale, look up, halfway. Step or jump back into your plank position. You can do knees, chin, and chest into cobra, or you can do full chaturanga, lowering into a push-up position into your upward facing, pushing back into your downward facing dog. Holding for a few breaths. Walking towards the front of your mat, halfway look up, exhale. Inhaling, arms up, mountain pose. Inhaling, arms up, folding forward, hinging at the hips. Jump or step back, chaturanga, upward facing dog. Pushing back into your downward facing dog, remembering to breathe with every movement. Inhale, lifting the right leg up to the sky, pushing through the heel, curling that knee and opening the hip. Lowering right leg. Inhaling, left leg up, pushing through the heel. Curling over, opening the hip. Jump or walk towards your hands. Inhale, looking up halfway. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, coming all the way up, hands above your head, mountain pose. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, folding forward, hinging at your hips. Inhale, halfway, look up. Jump or step back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, pushing back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg goes up, stepping that right foot in between your hands, coming down into a low lunge, lowering the left knee to the mat, opening up your chest, opening up the heart, clasping your hands behind you. Really feeling a nice stretch, curling the toes under. Lunge position. Stepping back into your chaturanga or knees, chin, and chest option. Upward facing dog, pushing back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg goes up. Planting the left foot in between your hands, lowering the right knee, clasping your hands behind your back, looking up, opening the chest, stepping back into your chaturanga, upward facing dog. Exhale, pushing back into your downward facing dog, lengthening. Feel free to take a child's pose, or if you're comfortable in your downward facing dog, stay there for a few breaths. We'll meet in downward facing dog again. Pushing through the palms. Inhale, right leg goes back, stepping that right foot in between your hands. Coming up into your warrior one, remember to ground the back foot. Lowering down, taking your chaturanga or knees, chin, and chest option. Upward facing dog, pushing back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg goes up, stepping in between your hands, grounding that back foot, coming up into your warrior one. Exhaling, hands to the mat, lowering down, chaturanga. Meeting in our downward facing dog. Remembering to push through the palms, shoulders, activate your shoulders. Inhale, right leg goes up, planting that right leg in front of you. Warrior one. Exhaling the hands down to the mat. Plank position into your chaturanga. Pushing back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg goes up. Planting the left foot, coming up into your warrior one. Going through your chaturanga again. Remember, knees, chin, and chest is always an option. Pushing up into your warrior, into your downward facing dog, and then taking a child's pose, or feel free to stay in your downward facing dog. Coming to the front of your mat, grabbing your elbows, swaying side to side, releasing any tension in the neck. Inhaling halfway up, exhaling, folding forward, deeper extend, hinging at the hips. Inhale, arms come up. Chair pose. Pretend there's a chair behind you that you're sitting on. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, arms coming all the way up into your mountain pose. Remembering to connect with your breath here. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, sitting back into your chair pose. Hands to heart center and twisting to your left side, locking that right elbow onto your left knee. Option to open up the arms or keep the hands at heart center. Coming back to neutral, twisting to the opposite side. Coming back to heart center. Folding forward, hinging at the hips. Inhale, look up. Exhale, jump back. Upward facing dog. Taking it back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg goes up. Steps in front of you, in between your hands, coming up into your warrior one. Pivoting into warrior two. Reversing your warrior. Then coming into your side angle pose, left knee to left elbow, or left hand can go down to the mat. If you can get the bind, go for the bind, but leaving your left elbow on your left knee is just fine as well, extending the right hand over your head. Pivoting and bringing your hands to the mat in front of you, coming into your lizard lunge, coming down to your elbows if that's available to you. If not, keeping the arms straight is fine as well. Holding here for a few breaths. Coming back onto our hands. Stepping our right foot to meet it where our left foot is, coming into yogi squat. You can put a block or a blanket under your butt here if you cannot get this pose comfortably. Do not risk injuring your knees. Yogi, hold on your toes, inhaling up and exhaling, folding forward, getting a nice stretch of your spine. Inhale, look up halfway. Arms all the way up. Exhale, hands at your side in mountain pose. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, jump or step back. Moving into your chaturanga, upward facing dog, pulling your shoulders back and then pushing into downward. Inhale, right leg goes up and steps in between your hands. Coming up into your warrior one, pivoting into your warrior two, reversing your warrior. The right elbow goes to right knee, stretching in a side angle pose. Bringing your hand to the mat is a second option, or you can leave the elbow on the knee. Going for the bind is a third option, only if you can pivot your chest, keeping the heart open. Hands to the mat for your lizard lunge, bringing the elbows down if that's available to you. If not, hands on the mat's fine. Bringing that left foot to the front of your mat in yogi squat. Again, sitting on a block or a blanket is fine. Exhaling. Placing the palms underneath the feet if that's available to you. If not, you can also just grab your ankles and exhale into a nice forward fold, hinging at the hips. Inhale, coming all the way up, one vertebra at a time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, jump or step back. Pushing back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg goes up to the sky, push through the heel. Exhale, step into the front of your mat, coming up into warrior one. Pivoting into warrior two. Straightening that front leg, bringing both legs a little bit closer to each other for triangle pose. Leaning forward with your right arm leading. Trying to align your shoulders. One straight line from your right fingertips all the way up to your left fingertips. Inhaling, coming up. Pivoting both feet to face one direction. Hinging at your hips, folding forward. Bringing your hands to your mat. Trying to get the crown of your head as close to the floor as possible. Inhale and exhale if you want to go a little bit deeper here. Coming up, inhale. Pivoting to the left side. Warrior two. Straightening that front left leg. Triangle pose on the left side. Trying to get a straight line from your left fingertips to your right fingertips. Inhale, come up. Clasping your hands behind your back. Inhale. And then exhale, folding all the way forward, bringing your arms as far over your head as possible. Do not open the palms. Try to keep the palms clasped together. Inhale, coming up. Stepping to the front of your mat. Hands to heart center. Tree pose. Bringing your right foot to your inner right thigh or calf, not on the inner knee. Never on your knee, always on your thigh or your calf. Finding your balance. Looking for a drishti point in front of you. Focus on that. Extending the arms if you find that balance, like the branches of a tree. Shaking out your legs. We're going to repeat it on the other side. Left foot comes to inner right thigh or calf. Hands at heart center, finding your focus, rooted, strong. Extending the arms like the branches of a tree. Shaking out the legs, coming to the front of your mat. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Coming to a seated position on your mat. Taking a few breaths. Getting prepared for boat pose. Trying to form a V with your body.